And welcome to Beyond the Baller, episode number 8. I'm Tam, he's Dale. Got it right this time. Happy New Year to all the viewers and listeners. We appreciate all the time that you're giving us. So, what's been happening? Tell me.
Followers through the roof. Big influx, actually. Set ourselves targets for 2026 as well to hit a certain amount of followers and subscribers on YouTube. So we're doing really well on that. We managed to get 3,000 followers on Facebook as of now, 2,000 on Instagram, and just under 400 subscribers on YouTube, which isn't bad for 3 months' work. So we're building, and then obviously had a few contact with some pros now. Stephen Fletcher, Chris Illumi, Charlie Austin. Who else we had?
A
few others, but we'll keep that on the download just now.
Yeah.
But obviously looking to bring guests on in 2026 as well, so it's not just listen to me and you chatting away all day.
I know.
People are bored of it, man.
You had a good Christmas?
It's alright.
Alright.
Just working.
Good New Year?
New Year was quiet, by the way.
Aye.
No drink, mate. I'm off it now. That's me.
So am I.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Healthy January and all that. Dry January.
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Because you're looking like Casper Schmeichel there. Anyway, so we're going to have a wee look at the Celtic versus Rangers analysis firstly, because I threw out a couple of I've put myself out there, didn't I?
Predicted lineups, eh?
Predicted lineup. What was Celtic going to do? What did I think should have happened? Etc, etc. So I done that for both teams. I think I get one wrong in each starting lineup.
Yeah.
Each starting lineup. I think I was right with the formations just about. Some result for Rangers, to be fair, after being 1 down in the first half that they
battered
had.
in the first half, eh?
Absolutely, and I'm going to look at that because I think Celtic's passing was on point. They had an overload on the right hand side all the time. Mm-hmm. So how that happened was that Engels, McGregor and Yang overloaded, lopsided the right hand side for Celtic. Gassama and Rangers right couldn't come in. Asgard didn't know if he was sticking or twisting going on to the centre backs, because I think Danny Rowe's principle was to go man for man, and the shape wasn't right, the distances weren't correct, and it was too easy to play around, and Celtic were slick with that. Mm-hmm. On top of that, you had the movement of Nygren dropping right in. Fernandes then goes with him, so this is all predominantly Celtic's right hand side. The space is then available for balls to be clipped in. The press isn't right at the back line for Rangers onto Celtic's back line. They can then clip in behind because Nygren's dropped, and Johnny Kenny was a willing runner all day, and he looked really, really good out with his finishing.
Right, I'm glad, yeah. Because C is a number 9. That's all I've ever played. Mm-hmm. His movement's outstanding, you know.
He's rapid as well.
But he can't finish his tee. Honestly, his movement is everything you'd need in a number 9.
But I'm going to see any kids watching as well, see moments in football when you've got them, to take them.
You have to
take them.
Because that game is dead. Because Butland had the game of his life in the first half. And the second, to be fair. I don't know, in the second half as well. Yep. But if that doesn't go his way, that's Rangers dead and buried. The Rangers aren't pulling that back. I think that goes 2-0 down. I don't think Rangers pull that back. I really don't.
I'm the same. And it was interesting just because there was a 6v5 situation. That is what it looked like to me, because the press wasn't quite right. Asgard didn't know what was happening. Gassama didn't know to come over. And it was too easy in the midfield for McGregor to find space and then just get it. He's really, really, really clever at that.
He is very good at that.
But what a narrative. If Kenny takes 1 or 2 of the chances,
it's done. It is done.
It's done. His career goes like that. Totally different narrative.
And I don't think
Celtic then go like that, or do we really need a striker?
I suppose so. I don't think they need to panic in the January window. And they will. They will sign a number 9 in the window.
They probably would have anyway, even if he scored. But it takes the pressure off. But obviously getting beat at
Does
Celtic
Wilfred
Park,
Nancy stay in the job if Celtic win that game?
100%. 100%. But that was a tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tipping point. And it's these moments. And we by looking at Celtic and the overloads that they had, and they predominantly done that the right hand side, Danny Rowe got it wrong. Let's say that, even though he's got an awful lot right since he's been there and he's been adaptable, and he obviously went in at half time and he had a look, because you seen him jotting down, you seen him with his assistant.
Well, we messaged each other, if you remember this,
yes.
and you said Tavernier, didn't you? You said I'd change Tavernier, and I said I think Diamandi's the only option on the bench to give us something.
So what I was looking for was Sterling to get into the middle of the park just to shore it up, because it looked as if to me that they were getting outplayed, overran, and they need a wee bit more combat, but it was actually structure rather than
an individual.
The effort, you know, although Asgard was pretty poor for me. For a £4 million player, he needs too much time in the ball. He doesn't really know the game in Scotland.
Someone needs to send him a postcard, right, to tell him in Scotland you don't get a minute's peace.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
What is wrong with the guy, man? Why are you taking so many touches of a ball?
Tell me this, in the Championship in England, surely that's a fast pace as well, and he's been lauded as a great player down there.
I think in England it's so much more tactical. When it comes to an Old Firm, mate, you could set up as a 3-5-2 and see as soon as that whistle blows, that could be anything, mate.
I know. So I thought it was really interesting, the tactical side of things, and Danny Rowe adapting. You called it for Diamandi. We were messaging. I said just Asgard needs to be off, and my solution was Tavernier at right back, going to a back four because we were wide open at the back, and Sterling to be inserted inside Raskin and Barron.
Mm-hmm.
So what that allowed then was, the way Danny Rowe put that forward, he could then shape the Rangers midfield and attackers to box Celtic in on a side, because Celtic were predominantly on that right hand side, but what Rangers could do was allow Kieran Tierney to be the free man, and they couldn't really find him because Gassama then comes in off the right wing, plays in between Tierney and Trusty. He then allows Chermiti to drop a wee bit deeper then onto McGregor to stop the passing lanes into McGregor. The midfield three are boxing in, and you've got Mikey Moore that's buzzing round about Anthony Ralston and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, you've got a secure back four with no spaces to play into. Rangers can box them into a certain situation. They've got ball winners in there in Barron and Raskin, and it looked as if they were dominating all of a sudden with an overload, because Magoma then comes in, or Sterling comes in for right back, and it just looked like a tactical... I'm not saying tactical genius, that's not the right thing.
No, but he read the game.
Aye.
And on episode 7, you said that what Danny Rowe's doing at Rangers just now is he's playing simplistic football. And he's playing simplistic football because he needs to keep it simple with the players he's got. This isn't his team.
Yes.
He's inherited what he's got, so he's working with the best of his ability. I'll call another one time. I think that Fernandez is a bomb scare. So, because he done the same thing that Asgard done. He thinks he's got time. Mate, Johnny Kenny would slide tackle his nan because he's been brought up on that aggressive football. That Fernandez just bounce him off because he's a big old boy, but he's not going to get a minute's peace. He can't. He does his mad thing. He slows it down in his defensive third. What are you doing?
Yep.
You've got to shift the ball.
Move it forward. Yep. Move it forward.
So you nailed it with what you said. I think that tactically, I think Danny Rowe got the edge that you called before the new year. You called it, saying that you reckon Rangers will win the league. I presume you're still standing by that as well.
Well, it's different now. I'm not. Obviously, you put yourself out there regarding the simplistic football, and it's a race to the end of January to see who can maintain the most points and who can get the players in. So that for me is going to be so important.
See, with O'Neill coming in,
it changes the whole
Celtic
thing.
gets the belief, and let's not kid ourselves on. I think that a lot of Rangers fans will be thinking, right, this is a completely different ball game again now. It's another flip. Because I reckon his first day, Tam, right? See what Martin O'Neill's first day in training?
Yeah.
Do you know what I reckon they probably done, mate? Was a game of fives. And they'd put, I just want to play football again.
No, I'm going to stop you there, because I know exactly what they've done the first day of training.
Go on.
I watched it. It was Sean Maloney done a passing sequence from the defender into midfield, and it was the rotation of the 10 gone to the wide man and then crossing.
Just as a finish.
So it was into 3 mini goals. So it was a rotational thing. There was 4 passes in it.
Was it simplistic?
But it was simplistic, going for either centre back or right back, it must be. And into McGregor it will be, because he'll be the pivot on number 6. And then it was into one of the 2 10s. That's what it looked like to me. So he could turn and spin, play into one of the 2 10s. Then you would have a full back overlapping. That would then come, and then there would be movement in the middle for them to be finishing into a mini goal, one of the 3 mini goals.
See talking about the Old Firm again, see the defending. First of all, with the starting lineup, I was very shocked that Liam Scales didn't start for Celtic. And I'm shocked because as the tallest defender on that team, playing a team that's recently got some real advantages from set plays, I don't understand why Liam Scales wouldn't play in that game. Fernandez is lethal from any kind of set piece situation, right? Why wouldn't you put arguably your strongest defender of the year so far, Liam Scales for Celtic? Yeah. Why wouldn't he start in the Old Firm?
Big Sutton talks about that, didn't he?
Oh, did he cover that as well?
I'm sure.
Sorry, Chris.
No. He talks about Liam Scales being the best defender in Scotland or something like that. Him and Boydie have a bit of
he can't be far off. He can't be far off.
They have a bit of banter about it.
So why wouldn't you do that? The one I want to talk about is the Chimity goal.
Right. Okay. I've got a view on that. You have your view.
My view on it is when Chimity peels off from the left-hand side and drives in, okay? The body... it was Trusty, eh?
Half the length of the pitch, by the way. It's Ralston and McGregor. But McGregor's too close as well.
Anyway, so they make a shambles of it from a throw-in.
Yes.
And then Chimity's galloping and he's rapid, by the way. The defendant, was it Trusty, wasn't it?
Trusty.
His defendant, his body, when we teach kids from the age of 6 onwards, we talk about defending a lot, is when we position ourselves as a defender, it's normally to push them out wide away from goal, okay? Or push them into pressure. That's probably your 2 things, eh?
Yeah.
Is push them wide away from your goal, because that's the danger.
Simplistic about it, yes.
Really simplistic, okay? He showed him in towards goal. He allowed him direction of his body shape to drive in towards Schmeichel. I couldn't get over it. And then the finish, that was the only finish he could possibly do. But Trusty made him do the finish.
But, so there's a still, and I'll get you to put that on Instagram because we're talking about this and we'll probably clip it up. There's a still from the Celtic main stand where the camera footage was coming from. And it's on Sports Scene. And if Tierney tells him early doors, go to the ball, because Trusty's obviously worried about Barron getting through, herring in and goal. But maybe underestimates Chimity's pace.
By the way,
whatever it is.
See the overload that Rangers produced from that break? It was a decent counter attack, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
So I get. I'm not slagging Trusty's defending, but he's got to worry about the ball just now. I don't think he can worry about the man just now.
Totally. I think Tierney can help him there. I think Tierney coming across really had Barron under wraps, and he says go to the ball, and there's 35 yards for goal. I think he can probably get there. But there's a second or 2 delay, and then he knows that he needs to go when he's 20 yards out, and it's too late.
To be fair, Fernandez does it for the angle.
Yeah.
You know, he shouldn't be allowed to... It's actually embarrassing by Rangers, because he's received the ball from as wide as you can possibly be and just darted round them as if it wasn't even there. And the Fernandez defending, again, he's showing him in towards... I think Butland should save it, in my own opinion, but the Fernandez defending was shocking again. You've got to go.
Aye.
You've got to go.
I don't know what the thinking would be there of the player at the time.
It's big decisions, and these games are massive, right?
Pressurised times.
These games are huge, but we're talking about the USA International for Celtic and the starting left side centre back for Rangers. So we're talking about the 2 main guys of your defence just now. Fernandez has been a mainstay in Rangers squad for weeks, and Trusty's probably was the strong. Him and Liam Scales are obviously the strongest 2 centre backs that Celtic have got. You've got to be able to. That's not to do with tactics. What
nationality is Trusty?
Is he not American?
No, I don't know.
Have you heard his accent? He's American.
Is he?
He's got to be.
Don't know.
I think he's American.
Not sure. Check
that check. I might be wrong. Could be Swedish.
So, just another thing on the change of shape when Sterling bombs forward for the first goal and he does the cutback, there's time for Trusty to take a touch rather than rush a clearance. And again, communication, and we talk about communication not being people don't talk enough and all these sorts of things, and the generation coming now I think are really quiet. A load of kids really quiet. Now you've got managers within the game, captains, like good teams have got like 6 captains and all that sort of stuff.
Would you say leadership's maybe a dying art almost?
Possibly, because I think it's clear to see somebody goes like, you've got time, Austin, you get time, Trusty, whatever it is, you get time. He doesn't lash that out to, and Barron lets it go out for a shy.
For the last,
but you've got to defend the shy better as well.
For the last 10 minutes, right? We've talked about the biggest game in Scottish football.
Yep.
It's the pinnacle of Scottish football that we've just spoken about. And we've just dissected well, at least 4 defensive mistakes there. And I understand pressure, Tam. That's not pressure, that's decisions. That's not pressure. Because I think any defender that's ever been coached has been told that you've got to try and make first contact on loose balls, defend your area, and keep it away from the danger zone, which is the goal.
Yes.
I think you've got to go and commit. I'd rather, if Rangers Celtic concede from that by you committing on a 1v1 as a defender, I think you'll take that. I think the manager doesn't even say a word. But post-analysis, I think both Fernandes and Trusty are getting ripped up post-analysis because of that. But we've just done it.
But I also think that in a back four situation, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, true.
Because there'll be another right-sided centre back.
So are you against the back three?
Not against it, but...
Because some of the best teams in the world have years gone by about it.
I know Trusty's been under Nancy for a period of time now, but...
Did the team
maybe think, do I need to be in this space? Do I need to be in the zone? Is it too much information? Is it not enough information?
I don't think the Celtic players bought into that formation that Luke McCowan came out with, did he?
Far from it, I know.
I mean, I don't think they bought into a back three. It's unheard of a Celtic, really, isn't it, a back three?
Traditionally, yeah.
So,
Martin O'Neill done it. Martin O'Neill done it in 3-5-2 for Seville when he's run to Seville 2003.
Well, there you go.
But he had 3 giants and he had great wing backs and he had the players to play that. And I don't think Nancy had the players to play it. Even though Yang, talk about Yang, best player in the first half.
Very good.
And then hooked to left wing back, your most effective player, moved. Crazy.
Yes.
There was just another wee thing that I wanted to say in the game. And it was Maida's got a chance at one each to clip it with Butland. Butland saves it. And that half volley, and it was at 2-1 at the time, Maida's just put it past the post. Small margins in football can change the narratives massively. And being in Celtic's backyard, it was... it's
a big win.
It was a big win for Rangers, aye. So, anyway, just on the tactics there, I hope that maybe... puts into perspective maybe what people think about regarding their shape. Does tactics affect, talking about that, does tactics and coaching a massive effect on youngsters, let's say? I know that's a broad statement, but of course it does. But
I think a coach affects a child's development in a positive way and a negative way, by the way. Sorry, I probably didn't explain that very well.
No, I think the question wasn't very good anyway.
I think that a coach's influence, Tam's probably bigger than what the tactics are. Do you not think? I think a coach's influence on how you can manage someone over the tactic has probably got more value. So if you look at like your best managers of all time, let's use Alex Ferguson, right?
Yeah.
I was told from interviews of old players that you watch that he wasn't really on the grass doing the sessions. He had assistant managers doing it. But without him, the Man United dominate 90s football and early 2000s. Probably not, because his man management was so good. So your question about coaches and tactics, I think the coach's man management has more influence than what a tactic does. And probably Wilfred Nancy got both wrong. He wasn't a man manager and his tactics were bogging.
Yeah. And tell me this, does tactical coaching matter at youth level?
I think when you get into the bigger sided games, I think at 9-a-side, and we've spoke about this, I think, haven't we? 9-a-side and 11-a-side, I think it becomes valuable because players should know a position they're strong at. I'm not saying they should be nailed down, but I think at the age of 11, if you're a number 9, you should know how to get back to you. If you're playing a 9v9 game and you're the lone striker in that setup, you should know how to manage the 2 centre-backs. Tactics and coaching will get you there. But I think at like the age of 5-a-side, I think you should be able to play anywhere at 5-a-side, apart from a goalkeeper.
7s?
I think you may be more tactical, but I still think you should be able to play a few.
I think that you evolve as a coach, obviously, and your view sort of changes slightly as you see things and things develop and circumstances that you come up against. I think shaping and rotations is becoming more and more evident, and because there's loads of information out there these days, in our day it was one guy that would take you in a team, and you were as good as what your team was, and you would do a wee bit of passing, receiving, probably a wee bit of shooting a wee game. But that was youth football back in the day. But now we're looking at tactical awareness, positional awareness, ball rotations, where should you be? And I think we need to get better at that. Our wee team, we need to get better at that regarding if something happens, and we talk about this thing called a prompt again, if a scenario occurs, you should then make that movement to be an option. I don't think us, you and I, do enough of that in the game, if that makes sense. So I think that would be the next stage of
their development,
the players' development, the team's development,
so
etc.
Do you think?
But we'd never got that years ago, by the way.
No, I know. So do you think that's been? So when we play them really strong sides on a weekend, or we've played academy teams, do you think that's been taught to them? Because I don't think it is, Tom. Do you know where I think my knowledge came from as a young boy playing? Because we didn't do tactics. I never had to run to a mannequin and run back as shape. I think my tactics came from playing five-a-side. In terms of, I've always someone's always scanning, for instance. You need to see what's around. I never had to be prompted to look around my shoulder. I always knew someone was there because I was scared of getting whacked.
Yeah.
So I think when you play five-a-side and stuff in training, it should always be a game, shouldn't it? I don't want to keep going on about that because I've covered that in a previous. It should always be related to a game somehow.
Yes.
So when I play small-sided games, I always know where my next space is. Or what if he closed that space down? Where can I go next? I don't know if you can always coach that.
No, I understand, but I think that if you can give the player as many solutions as possible, rather than going 1v1, can he then make a pass to, let's say he plays right back, can he play the right midfielder? The right midfielder then knows that the centre midfielder's going to come as soon as he receives the ball a wee bit deeper, and then that gets flipped round the corner into the centre forward. If you can do that wee combination where they've got the forward thinking of he gets it, I move, that means we're getting up the pitch, then I think that's just a wee advantage that as soon as that happens, you know what you've got to do. Like years ago, I don't think that happened.
No.
But I think now, more and more, we're mini pros. That we speak about this as well. Are they becoming like mini pros at 10, 11-year-old?
So I've got a question then. Because obviously you went to shape and neither was I. Do you think we were better football players overall when we were kids than this generation? Overall, the full package. And the full package is your 4 pillars, yeah?
Yes.
Psychological, tactical, physical and technical. Do you think overall we were better football players as kids?
I'm going to answer it differently. My boy is better than I was at his age.
What, overall, or just were you better at different points than him?
Well,
were you more technical at 11?
No.
Were you more?
I struggled in primary school.
Were you physical?
I was a big guy.
And you were a decent runner, weren't you?
Aye, decent runner.
So there's different aspects. Them 4 pillars. So obviously you don't want you're sitting on the fence here because you don't want to answer that question about if you think this generation's better than our generation. I'll answer it, right. Technically, they were better than us. Technically, they're better than us.
They are
100% better than us. Okay, because I can't do all the tricks and the flicks but that's not just technical, by the way. I'm not dumb. It's not just skills makes you technical. It's the full package, the striking ability, the turning. Everything.
We're going back to street football here, though.
I know.
And I think...
But it's not going to come back.
People used to punt the body and used to take first touch and used to play heady two-touch and all these sorts of things. And it was all in the volley and all that sort of stuff.
Stop avoiding the question. Answer it. Is our generation better overall than this generation of football players?
I think there's harder characters, but I think there's more people in football probably now because it's more accessible through social media, different levels and tiers. It was just, there was a team there. You were either good enough or you weren't good enough.
So I've another question.
You were harder psychologically because you had to get better to play football.
Tougher mentally, eh?
Yes, 100%.
That's not even football.
That's not a secret.
That's everything.
That's not a secret.
Okay, so I've got another question for you. Okay. And I forgot it.
Everybody in society is to blame for that, by the way. Everybody. For kids being weaker. Mentality. Definitely. Because they're ran everywhere. They wouldn't know how to get on a bus. They don't know how to go to how to get their pals. They're not allowed out in the street.
Someone commented on the post about that. And they said, they actually said, if you have a look now, because it was on the academy one that you when you said about when I see all these fancy cars and that.
Right, okay.
And someone said, he goes, if you look now, every house has got like 2 cars between them.
I know.
Mate, when I was a kid, my ma couldn't drive.
But what I liked was there was a comment in that as well, and I quite liked it. And there was to counter it, it was you'll find that the people that's got these nice cars have got hard-working values and things like that.
Yeah. By the way, fair play. Fair play.
And I liked it.
Because we're not always going to get it right, as we keep saying.
No.
That is a great way of viewing it, because he wasn't handed that Range Rover.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He's asked to pay for it somehow.
Yep.
So he hasn't. No one's been handed wealth unless you've been born into it.
No, and I think to counter that, it would be that, yes, the standard of the car is phenomenal.
But we missed the point of what we were saying.
Aye, but the point is, what I'm saying is, you need to have money now to be doing all the extras. And is that fair?
Mate,
are we missing out on some raw talent that's maybe not getting the opportunity to do the extras?
Mate, people said that. That's what someone said. Oh, it was a narrow-minded view. It wasn't a narrow-minded view. It is almost a fact now.
An observation.
That you have to be doing more than everyone else. And if you're not playing in your back garden with your dad, or you're not going and playing with your mum, or going to the park and that, you're not doing the extra, so you won't be better than the other boys who are doing it. Or girls. It's a fact.
How much influence does a coach or manager have? I think we've done that. What's getting people into coaching? What is getting people into coaching? I've got a big view on this, actually.
Do you want me to go first?
Go first.
I'd probably say the parent. I think the mums and dads that give up the time for the son or daughter are the ones who you probably think, right, this team's going to fold if I don't jump in here.
Yep.
So that's how you probably get into it. A lot of people don't want to make a career out of it, Sam. They're just helpers.
Yeah.
And again, by the way, thank you for that, because otherwise that team folds. But for people like myself who actually want a career in it and who've got a career in football, we have to do all the other stuff. It's no different than any other job to get to where you want to get to. You've got to put the work in terms of hours on a pitch, the courses, revision,
CPD, yeah.
Different levels. Work with every level. Don't just work with the best players. Anyone can do that. Make the best players better is the art to it, where a lot of people do struggle with. A lot of people just put that Instagram post out and the boys are wealthy or the girls are wealthy, but you can't make them better. That's the skill of coaching.
Something's popped into my head. You know how I've got a love affair with the SFA? I got an email this morning that my self-declaration on Comet had ran out. So you'd need to do a self-declaration to say that you're part of the PVG scheme and blah, blah, blah. I know, they better go in here and do it to renew it. The date is wrong, so it's greyed out. You cannot then move forward. So they send you an automated email, and then the next self-declaration area is greyed out. You cannot self-declare. There's an admin error.
What do you do now?
What's going on? This is what's happening, though. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers, the governance of the game. Now, it's just a small instance, but there's many small instances that make it so difficult. So difficult for things. Just that cropped in. That's just an email that I got this morning that annoyed
now,
me.
we're in the big debatable era because it's the winter. So no games allowed. You're still not allowed to play friendlies even now. So we're in this point still where no one's getting any football apart from training. You're not allowed to play a game if you're playing 9-a-side and down. You're not allowed to play a game.
Right, it's cold, right? Get it. What's everybody's training on? Where does everybody train in the winter? AstroTurf pitches. Most people's training's on. Most, if not all people's training's on. Why can we no translate that to a game? Now, I'm going to put this into another situation here. We have games called off, league games called off, October, November. That's when the league programme stops, right?
Stops end of November, doesn't it?
We're allowed to play in December up until a point. But see that week before Christmas? Lovely weather. Games could have happened, no problem at all. So see what you missed in October and November? We could have played the games. So why are we sort of limiting? And this has been going on for ages. Everybody talks about it and says it's a farce, right? See if anybody, right? This is me directly speaking to the public. If anybody has any issue saying that it's a good thing that stops, I get people need a break. Take a school break.
But no, not just that.
Take a school break.
Sam, you've been...
No, the week before, 2 weeks before,
your
2 weeks
option's
after.
been taken away to play, though. Because you've been told you can't. So it's an option. If you don't want to play, if you want to take the break over Christmas, you take the break. But I don't want to take the break. I want to play.
Correct.
So that's my choice. I don't need someone sat in Hampden to tell me I can't play football.
So there was something came out in the AGMs and things like that should be a notion move forward, that should be removed, that ban on playing, and I totally agree that.
100%.
Totally agree.
It's a stupid rule.
Don't restrict the playing. Okay. Where does your education come to become a good coach? Instagram post, 450,000 followers.
Mate, I wish you had that on your phone, because I could have showed that to the camera.
We'll clip it and show it.
Right. Okay. So I seen something the other day, this week, and someone put something on a coach who's got 440,000, was it? Ridiculous
Half a million followers.
Followers, right? And his video, as he's wearing running trainers, doing a one-to-one session, that's one of my biggest pet hates. Mental. Just put a pair of football trainers on, please. It looks really unprofessional, you kicking a ball in a pair of Asics. He done a video saying that you should never trap the ball in any situation with the sole of your foot.
Studs.
Yeah. And Zidane turned, mate. Zidane's like, what are you talking about, me? Hello. Xavi. Iniesta. Mate, what is he talking about, this guy?
It's one of the most understated.
Yeah, and it's one of the most used.
Yes.
So when he said it, I was like, surely he must mean in a situation. I watched the full video because this is what I do. I'm a Hawkeye. And he said, it should always be safe. Verbatim what I'm going to say here. It should always be safe, safe, safe. So basically what you've just said to that young boy whose mum and dad have paid whatever, is said, take away your expression when you play football because you must always be safe. Now, there's a difference with keeping the ball safe and playing safe. Keeping the ball safe could be you've got heavy pressure from behind you, so I need to hold that off to then zing around the corner or buy time, whatever. What he said was you should always receive with the inside of your foot. And he demoed it.
So I'm going
badly.
to counter that to say why you would never coach that situation and to call him out, because if you're receiving heavy pressure from the back, you try and trap that with the inside of your foot, then that then becomes opportunity for the player that you're up against to wrap his foot round and nick the ball away, or come through your legs, nick the ball away. If you're leaning back to receive to feel the pressure, your only option is to stud roll that as a receiving.
Tam,
it's the only way.
See if he receives that with the inside of his foot,
if
right?
It's on the deck, it's got to be stud rolled because you're leaning back.
Not just me, it's physics. What happens, right, when you roll your foot forward? You've now protected, because if your left foot goes forward, your right foot becomes your back leg, your standing leg to protect. If I receive it with the inside of my foot, that ball's on my back foot with my pressure coming from that angle. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. He got slated. There's so many well-established coaches that went for him. He's like, stop doing that. Tam, I put on it, I commented because I can't help myself, and I put, it's a dangerous message to send to inexperienced footballing parents. Because you would see his followers, you would see his little blue tick that he's paid for, and then what would happen is you'd see, right, I need to stop my son from doing that. If you didn't see anything else for the rest of that day, stop stud rolling. Because he said, because he's got 440,000 followers, that's dangerous. It was dangerous, the message.
Yeah. So where does your education come from to become a good coach?
Mine comes from working with different levels of players, the odd coaching course, which I have gained some knowledge from, study visits with academies, and also working with other top coaches.
Do you know where mine comes from? All the mistakes I've made.
Yeah, I get that, and it's fluffy, but it's so true.
That is, because you make a mistake, you're like, why did I do that?
But mine came from, but that's from time on the grass, isn't it?
Yeah, experience.
Mate, I've said this a million times. I have made a shamble of a session, right? I've shambles of it because I've overpitched or underpitched, so no one's getting challenged. So I've had to rectify it really quickly. That's where my knowledge of coaching came from. And also working with other top coaches. That's why we do a lot of collabs now, is that I'm trying to get better and better.
You forgot to mention that, so speak about that then. Sorry, you see, I was trying to say what's happening.
I know,
I
literally went straight to pro players because I'm
I know, go.
Attention seeker.
So what's happening? What did you do?
So me and Kieran from Soccer Lab done a collab in Glasgow. And it was really well received, 2-hour session. Obviously, Kieran's been at Rangers for a lot of years now, so he brought a lot of tactical knowledge. He's worked with some unbelievable players that have came through the system. Leon King, Finlay Curtis, to name a few.
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore. So he's worked with them as the youth players. So he brought his knowledge into the session, invaluable, because he does a completely different approach to myself. Mine was all heavy tackle. His was more about the game and the situations. I didn't get a chance to really watch Kieran as much as I'd like to because he was fantastic. But the session was unreal and the feedback we got.
So
Brilliant.
just to break that down, he was game orientated. You're technically...
I wouldn't say that's just our bag, but on that session,
of course, yeah.
in that session, we
but
decided
to collaborate with two totally
So we
sort
split
of
the group,
different
Tom.
approaches. The
split the group.
value in that for
2 hours.
For what
I said that to them at the end, is that we split the group. So for 1 hour, it was all technical work with me, and then Kieran had for 1 hour with the game-related movement, games, and everything else, and then we swapped them. So at the end of the session, we stood together, me and Kieran. I said, boys, what you've just done there for 2 hours is you've covered every single aspect of football. There was finishing involved, there was ball mastery, there was opposed games, there was unopposed skills, there was passing and receiving drills, there was possession-based games. So for 2 hours, Tam, everything was covered. And I was like, that's excellent.
Yeah.
We've literally nailed everything that we need to produce players. Now, some of them boys might not do a finishing for the rest of the week, so they haven't actually struck a ball for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So we covered that. So that was good. Got another one with Next Generation, who are based in Ayrshire. Got one with them next month, and obviously we've got our kicks from Manchester coming up, and then obviously I'm going down to Manchester as well.
I'll be top because he works with all the Man United players.
Well, he's a Man United academy coach as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. And for me to get better as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what it's all about. It's not just about the kids, it's
and
about me
this
getting
is the
better as
coach
well.
education thing that we were talking about.
We learn from each other.
Just to talk on that though, right? And we spoke about parents coming into the game and then them following the pathway of their child. Do you think as the natural progression happens in, say, it's 16, those coaches that have all of that experience now from 5-year-old up to 16, 11 years of coaching, they just fall away for the game? Now, there's an issue surrounding that, right? That experience is now gone. Now it's now a fresh coach again. 5-year-old all the way through. Every year it happens. Surely there's a directive, especially with all the stuff that we spoke about, academies being no disbanded, but the funding cut and all that sort of stuff. Surely the funding's got to be allocated into coach education. Must be. Facilities and coach education.
I agree.
I've got another thing that I'm sure somebody must have thought about before, but surely there must be a directive for the SFA for accessibility, some form of app where you can book facilities. Now, people that run teams will tell you how difficult it is, how awkward it is, and how time consuming it is for trying to book a pitch to get a friendly on, or a training session for that matter, if something's for whatever the circumstances. It's very difficult. Why is there no been some form of movement towards, can we get an application together for everybody that's got a facility, list it, time slots, manage it properly, and some form of booking system collectively?
Because
that'll be very difficult to do, but I don't know how to book a junior park.
Well, everyone knows that the those who are involved in the game, grassroots, is that majority of parks are booked through the council. Majority, it's like Glasgow Council and Renfrew. But what people don't realise is Glasgow Council say is that you can't book a pitch without a week's advance.
Yeah.
So you can't book one for a month's time.
Yeah, and I just think that's a barrier that could be easily fixed. Easily fixed. So
you might talk yourself into a job here, by the way.
If you've got I volunteer for everything. I do everything.
Not this, you don't.
Everything free of charge. So just get in touch. But there's surely a thing that we could do. If you've got a pitch or a facility, can you go into this system? Because it might get you more bookings if it's unknown. People don't know how to book it. Limits telephone calls, limits whatever.
Yeah.
See if we can get that sorted. I think that would be a long way into helping everybody in football. Everybody.
See the funding.
Go on.
Because Obviously, we weren't even going to talk about that today. I wasn't even going to brought up. Sorry, but so that's been. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it was in the news, wasn't it, before Christmas, that it's looking likely that the SFA is stopping the funding to all clubs in the academy system, right?
Yeah.
Do you think, in your opinion, we now produce a lesser player in 10 years' time?
No.
Why?
Because the growth of private coaching's phenomenal.
Is that a good thing?
No. It's no.
Why?
It's no. Because if you're relying on paying top dollar for every player in the country, then you're dismissing a portion of the country. It's not accessible then. But who's to say a family fell in hard times, I've got an outstanding talent, they need to pay to be in an academy? Grim.
I think that's going to go that way, isn't it?
Can't come in. You can't pay for it. Is there going to be a fund where families need to go and apply for funding to be in
an elite player funding program, or
scholarships, all of that sort of stuff?
Because and by the way, there'll be people listening to this, right, who probably unfortunately are in that situation where they don't have loads of spare income to be firing to the child to become a better football player, right?
You're looking them.
Jesus, you're wedged. There'll be these families, and I think other people will be listening thinking, there's a chance to make a few quid here. There'll be a chance to make a few quid here, because if that funding does go, they're not paying the coaches, so naturally the coaches, right, will become less qualified, say, because no one's working for free now. No one's going to go and work for free. So unless you're in the
big... Are you sure?
Well, we've been down this. Let's say I'm not working for free. You're not working for free. You said volunteer. Stop talking jobby. You're not working for free, Tam. Because if you've been in the game for long enough, it's not something you're going to do. You're not going to say, do you know what? I'm going to do it for the love of the game and give up 12 hours a week.
Some people do, by the way. Some people do.
I know, but they'll get onto it eventually because they'll realise there's no future in the game for them.
I know, but some people just get that community at the heart and all that, and they run teams and run community clubs and all that.
You're not going to go to an academy just to get a Rangers tracksuit.
No.
Not a chance. No. Would you?
They would use it to their advantage though, like they have done.
Like what? What could be an advantage?
Celtic supporter goes into Celtic Academy.
What, and gets a tracksuit?
You got 1.3. You get yourself 1.3, will get you in as a coach. You do that for us. Celtic badge, give you a ticket for every game.
You don't even get a ticket for every game?
No, but that might be the incentive. And they'll use that. You don't tell me they've used it for years to their advantage to get people in. Both clubs. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case in provincial clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But
so I think it does produce a worse player. I think with the funding stopping, I honestly do think you produce a lesser player.
No, because I'm going to counter you on that. If the funding goes to the right places at the SFA, where clubs can then... So we looked at this model, didn't we? And we said that if the funding goes to coach education, then surely that knowledge then filters down to grassroots clubs who have then links to the pro clubs, and maybe they'll have an invitation programme where they'll play fortnightly or whatever it is. So I think there's clever ways of using the money, because the money doesn't disappear. The money just doesn't go. It doesn't just get cut.
It'd be some Christmas night out though.
The money's there. It's just been got to be used differently. So are they going to do facilities? Is it going to be facilities that's going to be heavily on the growth? Is it going to be coach education that's heavily on the growth? What is next?
Right, okay.
So that's why I think you can't be certain on that. You can't be certain, but I understand your point. I do get it.
I just worry because the talent in Scotland's ridiculous. And I don't think we get... Well, I'll tell you that. See, in England, I never used to rate Scottish football. Well, to be honest, I still don't rate the SPL. I think the SPL is the worst it's been in years. I think this season's been a shambles. The standard of football has not been great. Motherwell playing the best football in the SPL. That should not be happening.
Hearts have got a solid defence and a great attack.
Great attack. But they're not playing... Motherwell, you watch Motherwell and you're like, wow,
Hearts
they're
are quite
decent.
direct.
But you watch Celtic and Rangers, mate, it ain't great to watch. So the standard, England don't care about what Scotland are doing. I'm going to tell you that right now. No one rates Scottish football in England. And I keep talking about England because it's next door to us. You go down as a Rangers player and you beat Man United's under 10s and everyone's over the moon and that. But are you going to be over the moon at under 16s, under 18s? Are you going to break through into the Rangers squad? So I think it all, see, removing funding from pre-academy all the way up, I think it's going to be really difficult to keep producing top talent in Scotland.
Because of the games programme being lost?
No one's going to go. Are you going to get down there? Because it's relying on families again.
People, it's self-funded the news.
I know it is. Sorry, I know. But your trips to, let's say when Rangers go to Italy and Austria and all these mad places, the Rangers Celtic will continue that because the first team will fund it. But those that are separate entities...
Or sponsors.
Oh, here we go again, man.
Sorry, I'm not going down that road, though, man. Boring.
I'll be getting death threats and everything the way this is going.
There you go then. You'll not be wanting to become an academy manager then, will you? Because the funding's cut. Wouldn't you know? Good luck. How do you get that job?
How do you get that job? How do you become an academy manager in Scotland?
Experience.
Is every academy manager in Scotland? I don't know this, and you might not either. I'm just putting it out there. Is every academy manager in Scotland an ex-pro?
Well, can the viewers tell us? I don't know.
I know a few are. I know a few are ex-pros. Is that the job? Like, is that part of your requirements? Is that a prerequisite to get a job as a academy? You must have playing experience in the SPL. I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
No idea, mate, to be honest with you.
And does that academy manager have better knowledge of coaching than someone who's in the Scottish game just now? Privately.
With the children.
Currently,
children.
Who's current. Not a 60-year-old man.
No.
Not a 50-year-old man. Someone who's current with the current game, who's got fresh ideas. Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of dinosaurs at these massive clubs in Scotland just now. They are trying to get rid of them, I think. I think they're trying to get fresh blood in. I think if you bring fresh blood into these academies, you'll see how we're actually coaching. The coaching programs that private coaches are doing is really good in Scotland. It's positive football. Last night, what did we talk about? Talked about receiving to travel.
Yeah.
We used to, in Scotland and England, receive to release. We're teaching them to receive to travel. Because I want 1v1 dominant players attacking and defending. You have to be anyway. So can't we teach that in private group sessions as well as academies? I don't think that gets taught. I think people teach how to receive and travel. I think we take touches and release. I don't want to do that. I'm bored of that. I want you to go and drive with someone, and if you're a defender, deal with it.
Do you want to become an academy manager?
Nah.
I don't think so, because of I think you would go in and you would see well, do you need budget? Do you really need budget? See, to put on a session to make players better, you need knowledge, charisma, be that coach.
Energy, massively.
Can you then relate that as an academy manager to say, this is our curriculum?
That's what they're trying to do.
This is what I want.
Doesn't work.
No.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because not every... Celtic and Rangers do it. I think it's top coaches there and other clubs as well. But when you get your syllabus from the academy, you must follow it, right? You must follow it verbatim. Could be the best syllabus in the world. But if you've got a young boy in there who's 18 years old, who's on a college placement, that's currently happening in Cat 1 academies in Scotland.
Well,
he can't deliver that. Do you know why? Because he's had no experience. He's been coaching for 2 years. There's 18-year-old boys taking your son's session right now in Cat 1 Academy's pre-academy. He's got 2 years coaching experience at max. He's been in school for the rest of his time. He might have helped his dad once when he was 13. He's taken a pre-academy... Stop laughing at me. He's taken a pre-academy session. He's not just started getting spots on his face.
Chill out.
No, I'm not. It's true.
I know that because I was on the C licence recently. Managed to get through that okay.
Well done, mate.
I know. And there was boys in, young guys in, trying to make a mark in the game. Some great guys, really good, seeing some different ideas. quite an intense situation for some people as well. So I was happy to get through that practical side of things.
See the young one, I know you're going to go on through it, and I don't want to keep jumping over you, right? But you're right what you're saying. These young boys trying to make a mark on the game. I've just said they need fresh blood.
Mm-hmm. But then you're saying 18-year-olds are taking their pre-academy sessions.
I think that's ridiculous.
So what age?
Well, how much experience must you have to be a decent coach? You asked before, right? And I didn't really answer that. I didn't really answer what makes where you get your knowledge from to become a good coach. I didn't really answer. I said what I think works for me. What did work for me? I think I'm fresh still. Even though I'm older, I still think I'm fresh. So if you've got an 18-year-old boy, like I said to you, he's only been coaching officially for 2 years because you've got to be 16 to be registered on Comet. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you can be registered as a helper at 16. He's only had 2 years officially. So is he not currently playing? He might still be playing as well. This might be a little earner on top. But he hasn't got enough experience to work in a pre-academy and be able to deliver a message to an 8-year-old boy efficiently on what he needs at that moment, because he's not experienced enough. He hasn't had enough knowledge or grass time to deliver the message. No one's ever going to convince me otherwise. We've got an 18-year-old boy who works with us.
I was going to say though, if you've got leadership qualities and you've went through the academy system yourself.
Oh, now that's different, sorry. Now that's a good point. So if you've went through the system, you've had a horrible injury, but they said, listen, why don't you just shadow the pre-academy coaches and just have a little feel for it? You've had your academy coaching, so you've got knowledge of how you think it should be done in this club. Different. But I don't think he can lead that session. Because just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're a good coach.
No, I
just because you're a good coach doesn't mean you're a good player. But I think you need experience of being put in situations to run a session, to be a good coach. And academies are the ones where you need to be nailing that down at pre-academy more than anywhere. I think your best coaches should be at pre-academy.
Are the academy positions a closed shop?
No, but at the big two, yes.
Okay.
You must be in there, Tam. You must be in at Rangers Celtic to get it. You must be already in at Rangers Celtic in some position to get a job at Rangers Celtic. Everyone will tell you that. It's a true story as well.
Okay. Tell us your stories about trying to get into coaching, into academy coaching, pitfalls, progressions, where it worked well, good examples, poor examples. Let us know. Give us a wee bit of feedback on that, because we'd love to chat about that a wee bit more.
We're going to have a Q&A quickly, sorry, before you finish, right?
I'm not finished yet.
Oh, you're not? Right, keep it going.
Far from it.
Cammy's loving life around here.
Physicality versus technical ability. Are we sacrificing skill? Are we sacrificing it?
Yes, because the academy believes that they can teach technical once they're in there. So if they show signs of good movement and good athleticism, you could be brought in with a baseline of technical ability, and then they think they can enhance that.
Good. Right. I had an observation.
You love these, by the way.
We've got 12 guys sitting at Celtic Park in each dugout, not part of the playing squad. Physios, analysts,
set piece coach,
warm-up coach, blah, 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 striker coach, midfielders coach, defensive coaches. Why is the emphasis on the end product not the same as what the emphasis is at grassroots and academy level? Now, we do private sessions predominantly based on
technical
stuff, right? And we do have position specific sessions, right? But why are we not specifically teaching strikers how to be a striker? Now, you're having to pay extra for that. Having to pay extra.
Should you have to pay extra?
So people are going to argue with me here, right? I just see all of this money front end, because it's all about success, Champions League, all that sort of stuff. But surely there's got to be an emphasis on, because I'm a dad, right? I've got to teach goalies, defenders, midfielders and attackers. I was a centre midfielder myself. 40 years in the game. Am I right to be able to teach a right back how to play right back? Have I got the experience and knowledge of watching football enough to then say that's the right thing that I want you to do? I know we do 1v1 domination. That's a big, successful session
For the defender and the
us
attacker.
defending and attacking. And I know that leads in. Everything's sort of layered. But I just saw the amount of people on each bench for all these specialists. And we go, surely we need to filter that into the academies and grassroots as such.
So see that I agree with everything you've just said there, right? I think each club, like in England, you have a technical coach. You might not know this, by the way, right?
I don't know anything.
See, in England...
I don't.
See... Sorry. See, in England, right? In England, Chelsea put technical coaches for their really strong players into the school programme. So see, in school, this is the truth, by the way, in school programmes, see them young youth players.
What, primary school and secondary school?
They'll be having private tuition off a one-to-one coach from Chelsea. I promise that's happening right now. I was told the other day from a guy who's linked with it all. So you come in, so they've got a coach. This is mate. Chelsea are loaded. I'm not expecting like.
Why not?
Because they haven't got the money to do it.
But why not? Why not coach education? Why are we no? What's happening? SFA coaches, are they full time? Probably no.
Some of them will be, though, mate.
Some of them will. Some of them won't be. The funding cutting for academies, is it a different structure?
Performance
Are we going to go to schools?
Performance schools gone.
Are we going to teach PE teachers?
Yeah.
Are we going to try and upskill all them?
So
why can it not happen? I know
no.
what you're saying. So, but it's a big effort of governance to be improved. How do we actually do this? And I spoke about this a long time ago. And why can it not happen? Mm-hmm. We're always on that negative, they've got loads of dough and we've no got dough and that's fine. Nah, man. It's possible. Everything's possible. Everything's possible. So that was very interesting.
So yeah, see that when you're talking about that, then the tech. Do you think that? Because I said this on another episode, I think every club should have a technical coach in there to work with pre-academy. I would. I think as they grow, I think you should focus on pre-academy with everything right now. To be, I put all my eggs in one basket with pre-academy just now.
Well, you spoke the other day and you says all players are being coached the same way by the same person. And they lose their super strength.
Every kid, right? You see these one-to-ones, right? I do one-to-ones as well. I'm slagging myself a little bit here, maybe. I'm not.
Fine.
Right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. See when you see the comments of the difference here is we work with individual development and that. Do you really? So do you really work if you've got a centre back who's came in and he's really poor at receiving the ball in the air? Are you dedicating that session to that? But he's really strong at driving balls into midfield. Which one are you focusing on? Which one did you focus on?
Well, does it know an all-rounded session?
That's what I'm saying, though. But Tam, what does that look like? Because the super strength is more important than the weakness. Mm-hmm. But coaches focus on his absolute guff with his left foot. So they don't worry about his right foot. They just say, we're doing an hour on your left foot. You've killed that. The super strength is his right foot's a rocket.
He doesn't want to come back to the session again.
It does. It's like, because I can't dribble with my left. But do bits on the both. The super strength can't be lost. If you lose the super strength, the player drops a bit as well. Because the main reason he was scouted in that academy was 1v1, he is fantastic going forward. He wasn't scouted going 1v1 defensively. So concentrate on the super strength and play him as a winger. The super strength, it's because we're such a negative country. I'm telling you, that's the reason. Scotland is so negative, mate. Negative football. It's not positive football.
Right. Here's another thing that I thought about. Right. So
you're going to get me lynched.
I don't care. And everybody's we had the bench and all that. Tell me this: are professional academy managers and those stakeholders in that academy, are they held to the same account as what managers, CEOs and all that at first team level? What does academy success look like? Tell me what is their
model
performance indicator?
Right, so it's different at every club, Tom, right? See the ones that maybe aren't as well established as your likes of Celtic and Rangers, majority of them are looking to sell on. So they'll create this player who could break into the first team, get a good few appearances, and then be signed down south or abroad, right? I think Rangers Celtic probably should look at that business model as well, okay? Because you will make dough off them, okay? I think that how an academy manager is judged is how many are breaking into the first team and how many are sold, okay? But there's academy managers that are at the same club and have been at the same club for about 20 years. Is that right? Is it right? Is it right that someone can stay in the same position for 20 years?
Probably in this environment, no.
Because someone's going to have a better idea than him. Someone will have a better idea of coaching than me.
Is it right that he loses his job, though?
Not about losing his job, sorry. But maybe there's other positions that he could step into within the club. Against down to funding. There's no money making these clubs. There's no money at all. Okay? Well,
where do you go if you've been 20 years at such and such, and then what do you do then?
But do you just keep him because he's part of the furniture?
It's the dilemma that they're in, isn't it? That's
the
dilemma. I don't know. I've not got the answer to fix that.
If the business model is, I need to sell more players. Let's say Motherwell. Let's use Motherwell example. Lennon Miller, big dough. Has that been put back into the club or back into the academy? I know the answer to that, and you know the answer to that because it's a separate entity to the first team and academy is a separate entity. Not the same thing.
I'm sure the academy will get some buzz and some great social media out of that.
I'd imagine like some sort of funding, Tam.
I hope so.
But the first team get all the money.
Yeah.
So the academy manager's job is to make sure players are getting into the first team or sold after 16 years old. That's his job.
Right, I know we're pushed for time here, right? But there's two things that I need to get to you, right? A child starts playing football because they love it. Do you think the love gets taken away from them when they hit the academy?
Yeah. Not all of them. But I think the parents sometimes push them that hard. They treat a 10-year-old as if he's a football player already.
Mini pro.
It's his job. It's his job. He's a Rangers player, man. It's his job. Plays for Celtic, mate. That's his job. No, mate.
He's 10. He's 10.
He sleeps with a teddy still. He's still got a teddy. Like Santa and that, know what I mean? Like, it's everything, Tam.
Oh, everybody was treated well by Santa as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas.
Last one.
Go on.
There's been occasions where parents are scared to like or share a video on social media in case it upsets other coaches, as a coach would question it.
So this has happened firsthand to me.
Oh, look, we've been getting some background noise, let's call it.
There's parents just now who I work with and have worked with that were worried that if they shared a video of their son or daughter performing with me, or I guess other companies have had this as well, that the coach that they were originally with or still with would take the hump with them for working with someone else. I've had a phone call about this. That people think that someone thinks that if someone comes to Ballers, right, that they can't work anywhere else. Someone asked me if I think that's okay. You get as much coaching as you possibly can and other experiences. Because like I said before, Kieran at Soccer Lab, he's more tactical than me by a mile because his experience is working with under 13, under 14 Rangers players, the top level of the country. So his knowledge of tactical and how to produce a teenage boy will be so much better than me because he's got experience. So if they want to go to Soccer Lab, fantastic. It means you can do both.
What a trio we would be, by the way.
You've got a class.
What a trio.
So this is what I'm saying, Sam. There's the parents are scared to share stuff.
But parents are scared to share stuff, right, because of the backlash of that, right? But parents also don't want to miss out on anything. They've got the fear of missing out. FOMO. We'll leave it at that, right? We'll leave it at that and we'll see where we go from there. But that's a good episode, that.
Enjoy it?
Think so.
You done some waffling at the start, though?
Nah.
Did?
Nah. That old firm analysis was good. Right, folks, thank you very much. I think we've got a sponsor coming.
Soon.
Very soon. But thank you so much for engaging with us. Please keep liking, sharing, subscribing.
Get on YouTube and subscribe. That's why we want. Get the subscribers up on YouTube for us.
All the usual stuff. Across all platforms, by the way.
Yes, please.
And there'll be a few offers coming out as well, wee competitions and things like that.
Get them. We want to hear your feedback as well. If you don't agree with something we said about, Tam's analysis. We're going to try and do that every Saturday. On
He's a
different
prick, man.
comment and you tell us what you think. What went wrong in the Old Firm with Celtic and Rangers, both sides?
I'll try and do predicted lineups. That'll be it, and try and analyse.
Boring.
You've knocked my part out there, you. Right, cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Ta-ra.